Hi everybody, welcome back to Cat's Book Nook. Today is June 14th. It is Thursday. I am back home. I've actually been back home for the last 2 days, but today is the first day that I have been stationary. There is no one else home except the animals, and I went through my books yesterday, so I'm going to do 2 videos today, maybe 3. We'll see, because I do need to do a Unhaul video, a library haul video, and I would like to do the spring cleaning challenge that Books and Lala did, and a lot of people on BookTube have done. And as you can see, I have reorganized my shelves. I'm currently sitting on the floor because I have a huge pile of books to get through for the Unhaul video. So that's what this is going to be, is my Unhaul video. So, starting with the books that are going to Goodwill because they've got library stuff on them. I have a very torn up copy of No Mercy by Sherilyn Kenyon. This is Infinity by Sherilyn Kenyon. I don't know what happened to the dust jacket, and it sat in my closet forever back in DC in my apartment before I got with Ray. So, can't go to the library like this. Can't go to Goodwill, can't go to the library. Then I have Wild by Cheryl Strayed. I listened to the audiobook version of this. I'm never going to pick this back up, so bye. And then, I'm not entirely sure about this one, but By the Shores of Silver Lake by Laura Ingalls Wilder. This goes with the Little House on the Prairie series, which I have one book on my own to be read list, but I still haven't picked that book up yet. So these are the these are the 4 that are going to Goodwill. The rest of these are going to the library, hopefully. Under the Banner of Heaven by John, I don't know how you say it, but not interested. Sea of Monsters by Rick, I don't know how you say his last name. My sister really likes him. I don't. Ethan's never going to pick this up. Casual Vacancies by J.K. Rowling. I will pick the audiobook version of this up. I've heard it's not all that great, and I've had it on my shelves for 3 years. I'm not going to read it. Plus, I can pick it up from the library if I'm that interested in it. America, America by Ethan Kanan. I have tried this book, 1 audio try and a couple physical tries. That's how far I've gotten. I don't like it. So why am I keeping it when I just got a whole bunch of books that I really, really like? So this one's going. Frostbite by Rochelle Mead, and Vampire Academy, Book 1. I'm never going to read it. Ray's never going to reread it. Ethan's never going to pick these up. Why do I own these? And then the first 3 books of the Fallen, let's say series at this point, but Fallen, Torment, and Passion by Lauren Kate. Brand new books. I bought them for my sister years ago. I never gave them to her, and I've never read them. Not planning on it because I've heard really negative things about them. So these are out the door. Kingdom Keepers by Ridley Pearson. Almost a brand new book. I think Ethan got this. I don't know if he ever read it. He's never going to pick it up because he doesn't read books, which is kind of sad. Because I've got this entire library. Kid doesn't read. I talked about how I don't like Laurel K. Hamilton. So I'm getting rid of these 3 books. Skin Trade, Stroke of Midnight, and The Killing Dance. These 2 are Anita Blake books. I want to say The Killing Dance is book 6 in the series. But I stopped it at book 6 in the audiobooks. Realized this is not my forte anymore. I'm done. A Stroke of Midnight I've had for a while. It is a Meredith Gentry book. Sorry, Milo's over there acting silly. Montgomery Meredith Gentry book. Not interested in it anymore. I picked it up, I started it, and I couldn't, wasn't into it then, not gonna read it now. I decided to unhaul Whitechapel Gods by S.M. Peters. I'm never going to read it. I've had this book for over a decade. I'm done. Cyberpunk, just cyberpunk in the way that it's written in this book just isn't my forte. Don't like it. I'm also getting rid of the Wolverine Essential. I picked this up for my ex's kid in Chicago, I think, back 4 years ago. I picked up more comic books while I was gone, so I needed more space, so this is going. Beguiled by Shannon Drake. I've read this once. It's not bad, but I'm never gonna reread this. Bring the box this way. Alright. Devil in the White City by Eric Larson. I like the audiobook. I got through it once. As much as I enjoyed the audiobook and as much as I really enjoy the story, I'm never gonna read this again. Boundary Cross by Melissa Olson. I really enjoy her book. I really enjoy her series. She writes very, very well. But I can get these for free from Kindle Unlimited, and I don't really have the space anymore for it, so. I've also found that the library doesn't own any of these, so if I can pass this along to somebody else for free, have at it. Slightly ashamed of this one, but I've only read this once, and I can pick it up from my library. So, yeah, there's that. I talked about why I'm getting rid of this one. I actually have this entire series in this stack somewhere, so if you see more Cressley Coles, you'll know why I'm getting rid of this one. The rapey alpha male trope, I don't like anymore. I used to love it. That was like my thing. You can see some of the books behind me had that trope. I haven't read the books behind me yet. I have read those though, the Cressley Cole novels. Not my thing anymore. And Ray's never gonna read them. So if I don't like them, she's not gonna read them. Why are we keeping them? Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. I like this book. I do. But another one that I'm never gonna reread. So why am I keeping it? Same thing with Lonesome Dove. Never gonna reread it. Enjoyed it. Never gonna reread it. These three. Red, Scarlet, and Crimson. Again, alpha male, alpha female, not my cup of tea. No mercy, no plot. I mean, so I listened to the audiobook earlier in the year because it was on my own to be read shelf. I used to enjoy Sherilyn Kenyon. I actually still do with some of her novels, but I don't like this book. It is very sex heavy. It doesn't seem to move the story along really at all. So, yeah. Same thing with the Yasmin Gale books. This is the first book in her series. I have an entire stack that are going that I'll show you. So Wishling starts off the story of the Diartico sisters. It really is a series at this point. I want to say there's like 24 books, 25 books. Hey, hi Milo. A lot of books, most of which I don't own. I think I've got the first 9. I enjoyed the first 6 way back when, probably like 5 years ago, way before I met Ray. It sets the series up well, but I'm not interested in continuing. Stormfront by Jim Butcher. I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna reread it though. Same thing with Life of Pi. Something Borrowed by Emily Giffen. Enjoyed it. Actually, I kind of didn't. So I think I gave this 4 stars at one point and then ended up giving it like a 3. It's girl meets boy introduces boy to best friend takes boy from girl, and then gets engaged to boy. And one drunken night on a 30th birthday, boy girl gets together, realizes that they have strong feelings for one another, and she becomes the other woman, and it's a mess. I'm good. Julia and Julia, not ever gonna reread this. I think I gave it 3 stars a couple weeks ago. 1+1 by Jojo Moyes. Listen to the audiobook. I enjoy Me Before You. It's like right over there. I enjoy Me Before You. I enjoyed the story, but it's not one that I feel compelled to pick back up later. These next 3, The Void, The Line, and The Source by J.D. Horn, fantastic. Loved them. I don't have a whole lot of space though, and I had actually planned on unhauling these earlier last year, so I'm gonna go ahead and unhaul them because my library doesn't have them. I thought these were great books, and I'm really hoping that someone in the library will find them and enjoy them. Because, I mean, the covers they're beautiful covers, and they're great books. If I want to reread them, I'll pick them up on Kindle. The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. I picked this up because it was 99 cents, and I wanted a copy for my stack of Read My Height in books. So if you're on my Instagram, you'll have seen the picture from yesterday where I stacked up all the books that I've read in the last, I don't know, year. So for my Day Zero project, and I had books that were extra that were just sitting over on the floor because I couldn't get all of them in a pile without it falling. So, getting rid of this copy. The 10th Kingdom by Catherine Wesley. I don't know if you guys remember the miniseries, if you guys are old enough to remember the miniseries that came out in 1999. It was one of the last things that my mom and I watched together. Me and my sisters. The book wasn't bad, but I've had it for over a decade. I've only read it once. I have plenty of other things that I need to read that are pretty thick, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of this one. And I've never found a copy at a library, so the fact that it's going to my local library, I think is awesome. Not interested in these 2. It's 2 books in the Chronicles of Nick series, Illusion and Invincible. I wanted to pick these up. I started with which one did I? Infinity. The first book's Infinity, the one that's going to Goodwill. I started with it. I wasn't too impressed with the first one. I actually haven't finished it, so it's DNF'd at this point. So if I'm not gonna finish it and got plenty more books to read, I'm gonna pass these on to the library. Night World, Volume 3, Volume 1 by L.J. Smith, the person that did the Vampire Diaries series. I'm not going to pick these up. Ray's not going to read them anymore. So, I actually think I got those at Borders when they were going out of business. And I never picked it up, so why keep it? Maggie Shane, The Prince of Twilight. Same thing with Cressley Cole books. I'm not doing it, so it wasn't bad. At the time I read it, it was a good book, but now I'm not interested in it. The rest of these are some of these are Ethan's books. The Kingdom Keepers, Volume 1 by Ridley Pearson. I'm not gonna read it, so bye. Courage and Defiance. This was I want to say this is a book that he was supposed to read over the summer when he was in 8th grade. So before we moved into this house, he got this book as a reading assignment. I'm not going to read it. So he's not going to reread it because it was an assignment. And I'm actually hesitant to get rid of some of these because we got these as, what did we get these as? I forget what we got these as, but it's the Impossible Quest 1 through 5 by Kate Forsyth. I think this was a book drive to help a friend of Ray's kid. I think that's the way this one went. But Ethan's never read these, and I need shelf space, and if he's never going to pick these up, gotta love 15-year-olds. And then The Throne and Bones Frostborn by Lou Anders. Again, I think this was one of his assigned reading books. So this one's going to. Almost done, guys, I promise. Like I said, all of the Yasmin Gale books that I own. Autumn Thorns, the third book right here, set up to be a great, great book. Not executed very well, and I'm very experimental in my, how do I put this delicately? In my extracurricular activities, I'm very open about things that I do. There's a part in that book that made me uncomfortable. And I have been around some people that, not that big of a deal, but I don't want to read about it. I just don't. So, that one's going, and the rest of these are going too. Is that my entire Cresticle set? Okay. So, I have an extra copy of Raven Shadow, which I did not leave back in California, so this one's going. I have 2 copies of Fairest by Gail Carson Levin. One I picked up for 99 cents. One I picked up for $3. This one I've had for a while. This one I got at Grassroots. Realized I'm never ever going to pick this up. So, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. And then, last 6 books are all Cressley Cole novels. This is part of a series. I want to say No Rest for the Wicked is the first one. I think that's the way this goes. When I picked these up, I really enjoyed books like these. I really did. Now I don't, so making more space for things that I am going to enjoy by getting rid of this one. And with that, I don't know how many books this is going to be, so let me go count this up and I will be right back. 74. So there's 74 books that I'm getting rid of today. So, with that, I will talk to you guys later.